I just want to say Frank Warren was telling a lot of after my fight with Zhang. On my worst night, I beat Zhang and he came to London and destroyed your fighter in 6th round. I destroyed Daniel Dubois in sparring and now his fighter got beat by the fighter who I beat. So what he want to say right now? I want to ask him one question. Why he producing only a Hypejobs?
And those are the words of Filip Hrgovic as he goes in on Frank Warren. And Frank Warren did have a lot to say in critiquing of Filip Hrgovic's performance against Zhilei Zhang. And he did have a lot to say, and this is what's expected when your fighter, or when you first of all criticize someone's performance and then your fighter loses to the same person. Okay, it's absolutely expected. Okay, and Filip Hrgovic is like, well, hey, I want a decision against that guy. Most importantly, I don't think the decision is worth mentioning. I think what's really worth mentioning is the survival. Filip Hrgovic took some shots from Zhilei Zhang that hurt him, okay, a couple times in that fight. And we knew who the big banger was, the biggest puncher was. We knew who was affecting who, okay? And looking at that type of fight from Filip Hrgovic, he learned how to box. He remembered how to move. He remembered that, hey, I need to survive and still continue my game plan and box this guy and put punches together. And that's exactly what he did. And he showed, people that, yeah, I can get hit and hurt, but then I can survive and last and prevail. And that's exactly what he did. Now, was he necessarily right for calling Joe Joyce a hype job? No, I don't think so. I think eventually somebody was going to do that to Joe, to hurt Joe enough to take him or to put him under submission. I feel that at the very end of the day, if Filip Hrgovic thinks Joe Joyce is a hype job, I think he should either give Joe Joyce that opportunity to fight him to go where he once was, because Joe Joyce was the guy that actually put his WBO mandatory on the line. So if he feels that Joe Joyce was a hype job, okay, fine. Why don't you fight Joe Joyce and give up or risk or sacrifice your particular IBF position, which I doubt that would happen, but still. I mean, it's one thing to go in on Frank Warren, but it's another thing to talk about Joe Joyce and call him a hype job. And I know it was geared towards Frank again, but still, you're talking about a fighter that didn't go down. You didn't go down. Yes, he was affected, and both of you guys was in there with the same guy. And I know the comparison, you're like, how you like me now? But Filip Hrgovic, a lot of people still thought you lost, brother. So we can't forget that, okay? We need to bring that to the forefront and make that known, okay? Because I think where Filip Hrgovic is messing up is now you're talking about a particular fighter and his record and who he is versus what you've done. And then I believe that both of those guys are on the same level, to be honest, because again, I think that, or a lot of people think that Filip Hrgovic lost. So if anything, he needs to either fight Joe Joyce, right? Or he needs to fight Zhilei Zhang again and give him a rematch opportunity to see if that was where it's supposed to go, like the first time in Saudi Arabia. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Filip Hrgovic responding to Frank Warren. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.